Welcome to the Winning Sometimes Show, where Emiliano, Clint, and I share our joy and sometimes hatred for all things gaming, tech, and today we're both going to get a little bit nostalgic and look to the future. Today, we're going to take some time to reflect on the previous year as well as look forward to the new year. If you are listening to this sometime in the future, it is January for us right now, so that's kind of what we're doing right here. So I guess first things, Emiliano, Clint, it's been a little bit since we've gotten together over the because of the holidays and things like that. So how are y'all doing in general? I'll throw that at Emiliano.
Yeah,
first.
I was like, well, who should go first? I'll go. Pretty good. You know, the holidays were fun. We visited, we spent time with family. We went up north to visit family up north. And then my kid has, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but California, it might be related to California, has a whole series of like missions that were created back in the 60s or before. And in fourth grade, we're always required to do a mission report. And part of that, when I was growing up, we actually had to build a mission out of like cardboard and construction paper and everything. This year, they're letting the kids build out of Minecraft. So my kid is building his mission, San Antonio de Padua, in Minecraft. So, we went up north, visited family, and on the way down, we stopped by the mission. And yeah, it was fun, So
That's pretty cool.
Holidays were great, We're back now at work, so everyone stayed safe, and we're here. How about you, Clint?
I'm good. What do you think I was going to say?
That sigh said volumes, so.
I got to tell everyone, I'm an asthmatic. I breathe a lot. It's a good thing.
All right.
No, I mean,
yeah. When you have to think extensively about the question, "How are you?" I don't know what that says.
Yeah, that's the canary, I guess. No, I mean, I have nothing I can really complain about. I had a great holidays. Last year was pretty challenging, but I took like 2 weeks off at the end of the year of 2021, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It made me realize it wouldn't be a bad idea. No, that's not what I realized. I would enjoy not working. Let's just put it that way.
I don't know. I think everyone. But would you want to do something like? Would you just stay home all day and play games or make music, or like what would you do not having to work? I mean, that's
Well, I mean, I would do what I've been doing. I have to. So I won't get into it too much, but pretty much the last half of 2021, I had insomnia. And it's self-diagnosed sleep procrastination. So to put it, to summarize it, I have too much stuff to do, like too much stuff that I want to do, and I work too much. So, I have the podcast, I have my own Twitch channel, I've got my own YouTube channel, I make music. I edited my wedding video. I re-edited my wedding video for my wife for Christmas. That was a huge project. It was like 9 weeks of 15 hours a week. That was actually probably a huge problem in terms of insomnia. Long story short on that, another tangent, sorry, tangent within a tangent. The videographer at our wedding was like, oh yeah, we know what we're doing, and they were her family friend, or friend to the family, I guess, friend to our extended family. They didn't know what they were doing, so they screwed up a lot. They didn't understand audio in any capacity. They didn't even clean the lens. When they gave us the final video, they left in the parts where they were walking to the next part of the wedding, and it was just filming the ground. Like they didn't cut.
Nice.
It was just I could speak endlessly about the problems with it. So I went through, machine learning upscaled the video to 4K, and I cleaned up a bunch of stuff. I scrubbed the audio. I did a bunch of audio tuning. Some of the audio was just inaudible because the wind, because we had an outdoor wedding. The wind was blowing and you could barely hear the officiator, I guess. Anyway, so that was cool, and I think I did a pretty good job.
So did you guys
my
actually watch? Did she rewatch it with you,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, it was like a 30-minute video, and it included parts of reception and all the beats. Like they, yeah. No, I'm not gonna talk about how it sucked originally.
let me say that I will be sending you a package of CDs for you to maybe help me out as well.
You,
in my
don't want to hear my rates because they are probably not very competitive.
well, no,
That took a huge toll. I will say, like, that was a labor of love and inspiration, and it was like, man, it took way more out of me than I thought it would, but I'm really glad that I did it. So I would do things like that. Like, I completely put my drone photography, like that just didn't exist in 2021, which is really sad. I started a YouTube channel called A View of Many, which was like all my photography and drone photography, and it was like supposed to be my like Instagram postable stuff. And that channel has died. I don't have time, and I'm burnt out, and I've got imposter syndrome, and it's just, maybe I'll pick it up and do something that I have tons of creative outlets that I don't have enough time for, and as soon as I think, oh, I'm kind of getting good at this, I find a new one. Like 3D printing and like CAD modeling is another one that I want to get into, like 3D design. Anyway, I'm like rambling now, but
So what I'm hearing here is that we need some sort of like sugar mama for the podcast so that we can all quit our jobs and just do all the creative things we like full time. That's what I'm hearing here.
I'd be down with it. I'd actually be fine with like not retirement. If I could someone could just give me like 2 years of wages for me to train myself up and so I can switch careers, I wouldn't mind that at all. Now, if you're my coworker and you're hearing me say this, please, I enjoy my job and I enjoy working with you. Please don't worry about it.
Well, hold on. So I don't mean to kind of derail our year-end review, but I like this topic of what would we do if we didn't have to work. You know, going back to 2020, because the last 2 years were pretty crazy with the COVID and the resurgence and all that stuff too. No, Matt, what would you do then if you didn't have to work? Because Clint has a lot of stuff. I'm listening to what he does, and I'm like, I'm trying to think, what do I do? So I'm just interested in what you would do. I do.
He has a point. He does have
yeah.
a point there. So, realistically, if the first 6 months of me not working would just be sleeping, that's probably what that would be. But so I live roughly in the middle of nowhere. I think I've shown you like on Google Maps how like the nearest like big city of like 20,000 people or whatever is a half hour away or whatever. I live in the middle of nowhere. And so it's family land and everything like that. And so there's always projects going on. Like I need to finish out my shop. Like I'm constantly building things and doing stuff like that. I work with cars a ton. And so I guess if again, like Clint was saying, if someone just gave me 2 years wages so I could do whatever I wanted with it in the time, I would finish out a lot of projects. And then like my job, my last job, I guess, was effectively I restored cars. Like that was what my job was. And I really, really enjoyed it. But turns out you couldn't really afford health insurance on that. So I had to go get like a real job. And so, but I loved it. Like I love working on cars. I love doing that sort of stuff. So if I just had my like way, it would just be doing stuff like that. And I know we're kind of we're all over the place, but if you're new to this show, welcome to the show. we're not good at linear thought. So this is your introduction to that. But one of the things, so right before Christmas, it was probably like the 23rd or something like that. I decided that because I had a few days off of work, and I decided I wanted to make cutting boards for some of my family members. And so I went ahead and I was making them, and I decided, I was like, oh, wait, I can I have all the stuff because Raywin streams all the time. And so I have all this stuff to stream with. And so I know exactly how to do this. I'm like, whatever, it'll take me 5 minutes to set it up, and I can just talk to the camera because no one's going to show up to the stream, whatever. I'll just talk to the camera while I'm doing this. And so I streamed myself making those cutting boards, and I'm not sure exactly how it happened. I think it was a guy I met through Twitch, Sleepy Shaman, who got all these people that effectively they didn't come from any stream. They were just all like, oh, hey, let's go watch No Face's stream. And they popped in my stream and were heckling me and making bets on if I was going to keep all my fingers and things like that. But they all really enjoyed it. And they're like, dude, when you do these kind of maker projects and things like that, you should stream it. So I do that sort of stuff all the time. I'm always making things out of wood and metal and stuff like that. So that's actually one of the things I'm probably going to do this year is at least once a week try and stream some project that I'm doing because people seemed to enjoy it. So I think that's a thing that I'll try and do. And that's the sort of stuff that I would do if I just had if I slept like Scrooge McDuck style on mounds of cash. That's what I would do. So
I didn't know you woodworked.
Yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. A suggestion, and I don't know if logistically if it would work out, but if you're doing any sort of work, maybe try and having maybe one or two other cameras to get different angles of what you're doing, so that way you're not having to constantly show the camera what you're doing. Maybe I don't know if that would even be a thing, but because I was just thinking,
100%. So this is how good I was at it, and this is how much I expected people to show up, because I was like, whatever, it's fine. I was streaming from my desktop, and I have a mesh network basically that goes out into my shop. And so I just had I had OBS running on my desktop computer, and I had my cell phone as an IP camera going to OBS. And I get out there and I'm trying to end the stream, and I'm going to raid into someone. And all of a sudden I realize, I'm like, oh crap, I can't do this from my phone because my phone is acting like a camera right now. And so I can't access the Twitch console and anything like that. And so I have to grab my phone and run across my yard, whatever, back into my house to get to my desktop to raid into someone to get everyone out. And so naturally everyone made fun of me, but I kept all my fingers. So I feel like it was a successful stream. And yeah, if I do it again, or when I do it again, I'll be much, much more prepared. So,
I'm sad.
And of course, no one will show up for that one, but whatever.
Yeah. I'm sad I missed that stream. I didn't even see the notification.
Yeah.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'll let y'all know. I'll try and give a little forewarning. I might do it tomorrow. Who knows? I will let y'all know though.
Cool.
But Emiliano, what about you? If you had again just mounds and mounds of cash, what would you do in the new year if you could?
I don't know. I mean, everything that I do is kind of tempered or at least viewed through the lens of having kids. And they're going to school. So I don't know. Would I want to homeschool them maybe? I don't know. That'd be a lot of work. That'd be more work than kind of what you guys were talking about too.
It'd still be an investment. Right?
Yeah.
In kids' futures.
Yeah. Although, I mean, they're going to a private school right now, and I definitely feel like they have more resources there than at a public school. Even though I work for public school, they have 2 teachers in the classroom, which
at all
already,
times?
yeah, they have So, which I think helps a lot. I don't know. We're really even though it's expensive, we're really happy with it. But anyway, okay. Speaking of creative wise, I feel like maybe I'd want to get back into, because I used to draw a lot back when I was younger. I also want to maybe write more, do some more writing in general.
Still haven't seen those short stories.
Those stories, shoot, I gotta find them. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna find them.
I'll put it on your to-do list.
I'll type it out too. But you know, like I've thought of maybe making like animated films. Learning. There's some easy like animation programs you can learn. But something like that, you know, something
cool.
Either writing, drawing, or animation. But yeah, either that or another thought would be making some sort of like video game, but using, you know, like there are a lot of game makers you can use and tweaking the assets or whatever. But yeah, that's just time, and I have kids.
A lot of
You heard it here, folks. Ronan doing an asset flip in 2022.
Oh no! I don't want to see you on Jim Sterling's channel.
Oh yeah, I like his.
Maybe
I like
this
his...
is our path to maybe Ronan's asset flip is our sugar mama. That's our cash cow we need to milk.
That's true.
Gotcha.
That's
asset
true.
flip. That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I figured.
All right, so this is not the direction any of us really expected the show to go. No, I love it. I think this is great. But again, for those of you who are new, we're going to go all over the place. So strap yourself in. This is a free form sort of show. But yeah, so like I love the fact that we can sit here and talk about like all these random kind of like, I don't know if goals or dreams or whatever is the right thing that we've gone to. And, you know, we've done this now for an amount of time that I definitely looked up beforehand. Over a year. We've been doing this for 15-ish months.
It's been that long?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. And we have talked about all sorts of stuff in the past year, whether it is, you know, like we're talking about our kind of random goofy hobbies, things like that, games, obviously a lot of video games, board games, movies. So I'm going to throw this one to Clint first and ask him what, out of all the things that we've talked about so far, what was your favorite subject that we talked about, and why was I so right about it?
Let me think. Let me just open the archives of my brain. You know what? This one's easy for me, actually. Because I'm still thinking about it. It is the... Wow, this is nostalgic. I guess it doesn't really apply to the the podcast, and because you guys didn't really have much to say about it. But the games that you played after you heard the music, that episode, because it's still happening to me, and I have several other games that I've heard the music for before I played them, and then I have a bunch more that I've heard music for and have never played. So I'm probably gonna make a video about that at some point. But that. I really, really love video game music, and that was really fun to talk about.
That's a good one.
Well, you say that, like, and I can't speak for Miliano, of course, but you say we didn't have a lot to say about that. But I remember that episode, and I remember me being like, nah, I mean, I like games. The music is awesome. I enjoy music, but like, it's never been like a huge issue, like a big deciding factor for games. But I found your point of view on it just so intriguing, like how that aspect of it drew you in so much. And so like, I really, really enjoyed that episode as well, even though I didn't have, I guess, a whole lot of, well, on subject things, whatever you want to say. Honestly, listening to your point of view on that was so interesting. So for those of you who are out there who are musically minded, no idea what episode number that was, but go back and find our music one. And Clint has some really, really good things to say about how music influences the games and things like that. And yeah, it was a super interesting episode as well.
Episode 2?
Did you say that was 2?
That was episode 2. And we have been doing this since November 23rd, 2020. So we are at a year and 2 months now.
Look at you going with the facts and stuff.
You're asking me these questions about our past episodes. I'm like, I don't remember right now. That is one problem with sleep deprivation is that you start to forget things.
To be fair, the whole last 2 years have kind of run together for me, so I don't remember a whole lot of any specifics.
Let's talk about that for a sec, because that has been like throwing me through a loop. For a loop, I don't know what the saying is, but it's been like I've been reeling. Let's just say that every time I think back and I'm like, oh wow, 2020. It's been 2 years now. It still feels like one.
Yep.
Right. This is the slowest 2 years of my life. Maybe not. That's maybe not true. Maybe when I was like 12 or something, like middle school, felt like a long time. But it feels like that, right? And when I think back of like, oh well, I started watching this YouTuber, right when the pandemic hit. It's been 2 years now, and I've been subbed to that person on Twitch, and I like announced my 16-month anniversary, and I was like, holy crap, I've been around that long.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's like the lost, I was saying lost year, but it feels like lost 2 years. Like where everything kind of just feels like nothing happened. And I think, because in March of 2019 is when we first went into lockdown, I guess, right? Or when we're supposed to be working from home.
Yep.
So, and then this summer is when I at least first went back to work, right? 2019 to 2020. So June 2020, I went back to work, like full time.
2021.
2020. Oh my gosh, 2021.
Yeah, right. It was this year you went back to work.
Yeah.
Or this year, it's 2022.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it all just feels so
like the Stooges on like slime in a hallway, and we're all trying to stand up.
I mean, I the part where I was staying at home, I found really enjoyable because I got to see my family, and I don't know, I hear there are a lot of issues with people staying close together but I loved it. We were here the whole time. The kids, they got a little stir crazy, but man, I want to go back to working from home. Like that was just
It's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I know I'm very thankful that I've been able to do that, and so not trying to rub it in or anything like that. I am just incredibly thankful that I've been able to work from home for so long.
Yeah.
I would say the same. I feel like my wife works from home as well, and I feel like I've had none of the issues that I've heard about.
Yeah,
it's been really
that's
awesome. It's been really awesome, and the cats love it too. They will not leave us alone. It's been great.
So you know what? I'll answer the question too, hopefully, if that's okay. I mean, I like the board game episode, and didn't we say something about like how we're gonna do Dungeons and Dragons at some point or something like that, and you're gonna DM or GM or whatever?
I remember responding
we
with
say
extreme
a lot
suspicion.
of things on this show.
Yeah. But okay, so I like that one, but I think that my favorite one was the one we were talking about the games. I made it a game that defined at least me, and I was talking about like the games that I played growing up that kind of pushed me towards kind of what I like nowadays. I think that was one that we talked about, games we played when we were younger or something like that. That was a more recent episode, I think, as well. But that one got me thinking a lot about games and why I play games and why I like the games that I like. So
is that the one? Are you talking about the one where we talked about? I think we called it like game trauma, games that like changed us forever.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. So I like that one a lot because it got me thinking about, growing up and why I like the things I like, I guess. So it was good.
Yeah, that was a fun episode. I liked that for sure. It's funny that you mentioned the board game episode because that was my favorite one that we talked about. I think I probably am more board game invested than y'all are, and so that was by far my favorite one because like for me, and Clint probably feels this way about the music one as well. Like that could have been like a 10-hour episode for me, just talking about like board games and critiquing them and all that sort of stuff. So I loved the board game episode. And yes, 100%, we still need to play Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe after we get done with our Dying Light playthrough, that's the next thing we stream.
Oh gosh,
is terrible Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm scared about Dying Light.
You're scared?
Oh, I get nervous. It makes me
Oh,
anxious.
good.
Anxious, like
This is the
oh.
proper response. We haven't even seen the.
I get anxious because there's jumping puzzles.
No, wait till it gets dark. Wait till we have to turn the power on at the power station. The part that I stopped was when I think it was dark and I had to escape an apartment building, and there were tiny ones running all over the place, and it was dark and I could hear them skittering. I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm out.
We'll do it together.
So and I think I got pretty far into it. Maybe I don't know. But I
You
remember
kept playing?
one. Huh? No.
You kept playing?
When I played on Xbox, because I originally
okay.
played it on Xbox, and there was one part where I remember I was in an apartment and I had to get out, and it was dark, and I had to get back to the main base or whatever. And they talked about a new monster, a new enemy, and it was smaller but faster, and you could hear it skittering just all around. I was like, nope, I'm out.
So Dungeons and Dragons, though, I don't remember exactly what I said in that episode, but I do, the board game episode where we talked about it. But I have had a lot more exposure to Dungeons and Dragons now, so I'm more comfortable with the idea. So yeah, we should do that. I'm still kind of like, I don't know. Will it be fun?
It'll be fine.
Well, my sister and her kids apparently want to play Dungeons and Dragons because apparently when I was younger, I did campaigns with some of my cousins and stuff, and I'm not quite remembering this. I don't know if it's old age or not, but they want to play, and I think I have an old like 5th edition like box set, a starter box set that comes with like a Dungeon Master guide and a player's guide and stuff. It has a map and little paper figures that you can kind of prop up. So I might be running a campaign over here with my family.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I might talk to you, Matt, about ideas. I'm thinking about trying to take a movie and turn it into Dungeons and Dragons campaign. As an idea, like Back to the Future.
You should talk to about that.
But,
Rao.
Yeah.
Rao.
Well,
I think
I
Rao's
don't mean
done
make
that
a whole
multiple times.
new game, but just like as an adventure, take a story. That way I don't have to start from scratch and do all this stuff.
I was gonna say that sounds like a
so-
lot of work.
Yeah, no. I just meant like the story and the structure, and then plop them into it and kind of go from there. But
I have thoughts on that, but I think that is another hour-long episode that we may not.
We could talk about it
wanna
during
get
Dying
into.
Light. Take my minds off of the scary zombies.
Fair enough. I have opinions, which we will talk about at some point in the future. But so those were our favorite episodes. These are the ones we had the most fun with, I guess. And I only looked at our YouTube videos because I was doing this kind of last minute and didn't have time to look at all of our Stitcher stats and things like that. And I'm going to let y'all guess, what do you think out of all of our episodes, all of our videos, our after hours, everything like that, our shorts, what do you think our most popular YouTube video was in the past year?
I'm gonna say it's a shorter one, maybe, but I don't remember the length. So I was trying to think of what one that we it was under an hour.
Well, Dying Light got a lot of views. For us. I'm looking up the answer. I'll stop.
Shoot, I'm not gonna.
So our most popular one, it was tied. And so I gave the win to our Dying Light playthrough because I think I posted that Wednesday or something like that. So like we're recording on a Friday. I posted that like 2 days ago, and it has gotten as many views as our other ones. But it's our playthrough videos that have been the most popular. But our Dying Light one has And I don't know if that's like just a Dying Light thing, if Dying Light videos are popular, or I don't know, like maybe people's New Year's resolutions are to prepare for the zombie apocalypse. I don't know, but it does seem like we did, that one was actually really popular, which was kind of funny.
So there may be a reason for that, because Dying Light 2 is coming out in February.
Yeah.
So we're really close. It's already
is
been
it
delayed.
really?
It's already been delayed twice, I believe. It was supposed to come out a year ago, and it got delayed 6 months. And
They're obviously waiting on us.
Well, that we're gonna have to try and beat it by February, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, like speaking of Dying Light, like the developer, like that product I really like the developer, because they've like developed for it for so long, and all the stuff they've done has been quality. Like it hasn't felt like cash grabs. There was DLC for the Dying Light, and they weren't like, I think some of them weren't that great, but it looked like thought had gone into them and stuff.
They had smaller DLC, like there was
Yeah.
a dungeon, like a grinding, like just a Diablo style thing. But their like actual story DLC was fantastic. Like it was about 2/3 of the size of the original story, I think.
Oh, see,
But it was completely different, and they added so many good things. Like they took all the good parts about Dying Light, and then they added new things on top of it and just let you go ham. Like they didn't try and restrict you at all. They didn't try and like squeak out content. They added these dune buggies that were upgradable.
Oh, but hold on.
And
See, I'm talking about, because like there was like the Bozak Horde was the DLC. I haven't played the Dune Buggy one yet, but it looks fantastic.
We all have
Yeah.
the complete edition.
Yes.
We're going to.
Yeah. But like the city story has like 4 smaller DLCs. Which I played a few of those. They're more like time trials or puzzles and stuff, and they're still fun. But yeah, like that whole other separate area with new enemies and stuff and new mechanics. And they recently released like a Hell Raid, which is like you were saying, like the dungeon crawler. So I don't know. The developer Techland.
Yeah.
Thumbs up to them.
They're pretty good. They've had a rough time with Dying Light 2 development, but
Yeah, I've heard the delays and some of the.
Well, I mean, the past couple of years have been rough.
Yeah,
on
COVID.
all developers. So
The last
I'll
2
cut them
years.
some slack for sure.
it's funny that you mentioned the most popular videos. I don't know where I was going with that. I wonder what that means. Does that mean we play more video games?
Oh,
Yes.
do
Sorry, you got out.
Whoa, I think that's, I think one of the physical switches on my mixer here, maybe not as fun as it normally is, but are you saying like that's interesting for as like regarding what we do in the future on the podcast kind of thing?
No, I don't think we should probably change much. I enjoy these conversations with you
Good,
guys.
because I'm an old man and change is not my thing.
I mean, I see it as, that I want to do more gaming with you guys, because it's
that's
fun
a given
too,
for
so
sure.
That's what I take from that. Like let's more Dying Light. Then after Dying Light, we can do a run through of Monster Hunter World. Then after that, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. After that, Monster Hunter Rise. It'll be great.
Absolutely, all the Monster Hunters all the time. This is now the Monster Hunter show, just so everyone knows.
We could get a PS2 emulator and start with the original Monster Hunter and work our way forward through all of them, and giving our analysis,
2022 goals.
and our recommendations for build. Oh man.
for those of you who are listening, Clint is is not overly happy. His body language is not indicating to me that this is a direction he wants us to go. But I believe we have a majority vote there, so
That's not how this works.
Actually,
right, so
on a serious note, one thing that I would like to try and I don't know if you guys would be interested, but maybe playing some, starting a new Genshin Impact account and trying that out. But that's later. That's I'm talking.
Yeah,
You know.
I didn't really like it, but you can yell at me later.
All right, I will. Don't worry.
So, but I definitely agree. I think that was our most popular stream as well. Like the Minecraft stream and the Dying Light stream, I think, were our most popular streams as well. For those of you who don't know, we do stream on Twitch when we play. So we will be doing all the Dying Light playthroughs on Twitch. So if you want to see it unedited and all that sort of stuff, we will be on Twitch. What's our Twitch? Winning Sometimes? Yeah, Winning Sometimes show on Twitch if you wanna be up to date when we are being bad at video games. But in the vein of our most popular things, and I won't make y'all guess at this, but so I am generally, we all kind of have access to our social media, like our Twitter. We have a Twitter account. And so we all have access to it, but mostly I am the nerd that posts the most stuff there because, I don't know, I guess I kind of took it upon myself to be in charge of it, and that's probably a mistake. Clint probably regrets letting me do that, but I'm terrible at it. But our most popular tweet, which was very strange to me, and I know why this is the most popular one, but our most popular one was about our video game movie episode. And this is the tweet. What are the best video game movies? If you said the Super Mario Brothers movie, we might have to agree to disagree. Find out our favorite list of video game movies in our latest episode, and it has the link to YouTube. That was our most popular tweet. And for context here, the reason that one was probably the most popular is there was a Super Mario Brothers movie fan account that replied to us that was just like, Super Mario Brothers movie is the best. And I was like, and it was like this Super Mario Brothers, like the 1990 version or whatever it was with John Leguizamo fan account. And so all these people who are following this account piled on, were like, yeah, it's the best movie ever. And I'm like, I guess attention is good, I suppose.
So it wasn't the most popular tweet. It was the most hated tweet.
Hello, Clinton here. So at this point, we realized that Matt had been dropped from the call. And, yeah. These tunes brought to you by Track Tribe. The song is called The Night Alone if you want to look it up. It's copyright for your music. It's great. All right, back to the episode.
Here he comes.
He's back. He's back. Hey.
That was the sound of my VPN dying.
Of your
your
what
internet dying?
No, that was my VPN that died.
Oh.
So I'm now surfing the internet unprotected.
Oh, no.
Well,
Every sponsored YouTuber is disappointed in you.
yeah, me and Clint already finished all the questions, so I think we're done.
You can go.
Yeah.
All right, let me wrap it up then.
Just But no, I was saying, so it's not our most liked tweet, it's our most hated tweet.
Our most interacted with tweet.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
I remember seeing that go down. I was like, oh, hello, everyone. I guess some people do read what we say.
Yeah, I feel I've kind of gone off of a lot of social stuff. I don't do Facebook really anymore. I will occasionally check Twitter. Instagram I've kind of left by the wayside as well, so I've limited my social interactions.
It's healthy.
Yeah, I don't interact on social media a lot either, which is probably part of the reason why I really shouldn't be in charge of our social media, because I'm really sporadic about it. I'll put out 10 tweets in 2 weeks or whatever and then disappear for a month. So I'm bad at it, but I try.
Yeah. That describes us.
So
We try.
a funny aside here, or I think it's funny, is our second most interacted one, and I'm not sure whether this says what this says about me or whether it says about the game, but our second most interacted one was a tweet that said, "Been a while since I've played Iron Banner. Nice to know I haven't lost my touch." And it's a screenshot of a match report that shows like 9 losses and 1 win. And so it's a Destiny 2 thing. For those of you who don't play Destiny 2, Iron Banner is one of the PvP modes, and it's a screenshot I posted that just showed me losing match after match after match after match. And apparently that resonated with a few people.
Yeah, there's always been questions about the matchmaking in Destiny, especially like in the higher end trials and modes. But even Iron Banner sometimes feels very like either you steamroll or you get steamrolled.
Yeah.
So
I've never appreciated their idea that you should only win 50% of your matches. I get why they do it, but I feel like sometimes they go above and beyond to try to manipulate your performance, and that kind of is disconnected from how well you are, like how good you are at the game. You know, rather than placing you with your peers all the time and having like a normal distribution of player skill in each match, which is what I would assume makes good matchmaking, they would just, oh, well, you've won the last 3 games, so we're going to make you lose the last 3 games. So we're just going to put a team with either a group or a team with 3 people that are like double your MMR, your matchmaking rank. And just, throw them in there until you lose 3 times. Then we're good. It's like,
well, I mean, all the changes they made to Trials, which is like their high-end PvP content, like they did kind of that, where they put all the good players together, and everyone hated it apparently.
That's why you got to have that normal distribution.
So yeah,
because the majority of your players are average, and then you have outliers on either side. It's like 60% of your players are like perfectly average, and then you have like 20% in the like upper and bottom tiers, and then you have the outliers, which are just absolutely incapable of playing the game and absolutely cracked out really good at the game.
I'm pointing at Matt when you said that on my screen.
Wow.
Point the other way.
I feel attacked.
Well, my screen is over here. Is over here.
No, That's always been frustrating for Destiny for me. But
well, the fact that it's peer to peer, I think also messes
help.
it up a little bit. Yeah, it
because they rank connections and make sure that those are a good experience as well. So I do appreciate you representing the Winning Sometimes show, though, Matt. I mean, that is our namesake after all. So thank you. Thank you for winning only
and
sometimes.
there was a win in there, so I feel like I did my part.
That's funny.
If it had been, that was probably a good day for me. Had it been a normal day, it would just been like 12 losses, and then I just rage quit.
I think I'd get like 3 in, and then I'd be like, "This is a waste of time."
Well, yeah, I played actually. So I looked at it, and this was actually from May of 2021, because I was wondering. I was like, I wonder how close this was to like Trials being re-released, kind of thing. And it looks like it was in the middle of summer. So yeah, I could see if it were. This probably would have been a lot more popular tweet right after like that week when Trials was released, and they had Iron Banner like the next week. This probably would have gotten a lot more traction because everyone was starting to get a little upset, or more vocal about the PvP upset, for sure.
Yeah.
Good old Destiny.
Yeah. So, that's that is kind of some of our highlights as a show, kind of the things that, we found interesting, or the fans found interesting, things like that. And so now, on a, I guess, personal level, whatever, what was y'all's best gaming moment in 2021? And I'm going to throw this one to Emiliano first. What was your best gaming moment?
You know what? I'm going to say a recent occurrence in my life. Is probably my best gaming moment currently, and it's all thanks to Clint, who's up here on my screen. I'm finally getting back, or I'm finally getting into, I guess, PC gaming. And yeah, Clint, thank you. He had an old gaming laptop he had, and he offered it up for me for my use, and I said yeah. So Dying Light, I'm playing on PC, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty fun, pretty nice. So me getting back into PC gaming, I feel like is opened up new worlds for me, because I feel like in this past year, all I've been playing is Destiny, and I got this PC, and I'm doing some more Dying Light, and there's some other games I want to check out now too that I have that option now. So PC gaming, and not being horrible at it, which I was very happy with. So yeah.
So this is this is really just out of my curiosity. I'm not here to judge you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you playing on controller, or are you using mouse and keyboard for the games you're playing on PC?
Well, Dying Light, I had the controller, but I loaded up Minecraft on it, and I was playing a little bit of that, mouse and keyboard too. I loaded up Genshin Impact on it to test it out, and yeah, mouse and keyboard. It was hard. It's hard at first, because I feel Genshin Impact has a lot more quicker movements and stuff. Like next time I play Dying Light, I might try to stay with mouse and keyboard as well, rather than switching to controller.
I would recommend it. You can just any game that's a looter shooter or a pickup where you have to like fine point, look at things, and then press a button to pick them up. PC is just so much nicer for that. Look.
I'm just getting used to kind of like, because like with controllers, right? I'm used to the thumbsticks where it's easy to move and to look. I feel it's a lot harder with the WASD keys to move as well. Like I feel the movement's a little more choppy for me. I'm not good with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still kind of doing that. The movement I'm getting okay, the flicking and the stuff, but the movement I'm still getting a little clunky.
It's a little bit different than learning to play an FPS game on a controller, like a first-person shooter, where you have to look with your right stick and then move and strafe with your left stick. It's the same thing, but now you have buttons, four buttons to strafe and go forward and back.
Yeah, and then but I still use that. So I use my right to look the mouse, and then my left to move. And that's what I was with the controller. The controller, my left thumb
is to look.
Movement. No, movement. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, up, down, left, and then this one is right. Or am I wrong? I don't know.
Your right stick is looking. It is only visual, like changing your direction of looking, and then your left stick is moving forward and back, and then strafing.
Yeah, so like that's what with the keyboard.
I had to
and the
pick
mouse.
up a controller, and yeah, Clint's right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying.
So the mouse is the same thing. It's your right stick.
Yeah.
Where you look around, and then
and then on mobile also, the left thumb moves and the right thumb looks. So.
Yeah,
it's consistent, which is great.
Yeah, the only difference is that before on your controller, you had a time gate you had to be sensitive to the amount of time you pull the stick to look, right? Like if you are looking down a hall and you need to pick up something at your feet, you have to pull the stick for a certain amount of time in a diagonal direction so that you look down, and then you have to stop it at the right time, and it's like a timed thing. With mouse, it's all limited by your wrist, right? So you could just flick it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but then it's a little different. All I'm saying is it's something that you're gonna have to get a little used to.
I think that's the process I'm going through right now. Like the movement doesn't feel as smooth as like on a controller, because the thumb pad moves a lot easier.
Yeah.
Or the joystick, but I'm getting it. I'm getting there. So.
I'm actually experiencing the same thing with Halo Infinite, because Halo Infinite is designed with a very high time to kill, meaning as soon as you start firing at an opponent in multiplayer, the amount of shots you have to hit are too high, like there's too many, such that you have to track them, right? And that's what controller's better at, because what happens when you don't touch like you don't touch your analog sticks when you're aiming, like your aim will stay the same place. But with mouse, like it's your whole arm, like it's attached to your arm and your wrist. So like if you're just trying to like track something smoothly, it's like you're limited by the motion of your wrist. So I'm not as good against, high skill players in Halo Infinite. So, I've been playing with a buddy that I played Halo 3 multiplayer with way back when. He's already freaking diamond tier, like diamond 3. He's about to be Onyx.
Dang.
Like he's been working on Onyx, and I'm like, dude, how do you do this? Like, this is stupid. Very high difficulty, like skill curve in that game. So I've been picking up the controller again because I kind of need that ability to not flick around. I need to be able to track them continuously, and all you do in a controller is hold your thumb over on the analog stick a little bit. This is a big tangent, but
man,
I sort of experience success with the
understand.
controller.
I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. You said there was a band I listened to like in the 80s called Onyx. It was like some kind of rap band. Shoot.
Nice.
Onyx. Anyway, sorry.
Send it to me.
I don't know if it was good. I was a kid, so it might be horrible. I'll have to look it up though.
Yeah. That's funny. I've been listening to a lot of 80s like new wave. New wave isn't the genre, but it's like 80s music. It's bands that are making music as tributes to like the 80s. Like synthwave is like kind of the electronic version of that, but these bands I've been listening to are like kind of copying a lot of those indie scene of the 80s. I've been listening to a lot of that. Nice. Tupperware Remix Party is a good example of that. Any synthwave band, but it's just, it makes me nostalgic for the 80s, and I wasn't alive then. So
have you seen 8-Bit Christmas by any chance, you guys?
Yes.
What'd you think? I'm sorry, this is little.
Wait. No. I was thinking of a YouTube channel.
Oh.
Like a YouTube analysis channel. What's 8-Bit Christmas?
It's a movie about a kid trying to find a Nintendo Entertainment System for Christmas as a kid. And I swear, like, parts of that movie were like my life. Like there's a rich kid in it. There was a rich kid in my neighborhood that lived down the street that had all the darn things,
So they plagiarized your childhood is what I'm hearing?
No, but it felt very familiar and I loved it, So if I would recommend that as well. Speaking of 80s nostalgia, 8-Bit Christmas.
I'm going to have to write that down because that sounds similar to my experience. It was just, 15
HBO
years
Max. It's a kid during Christmas trying to get his parents to buy him a Nintendo Entertainment System, and the adventure that ensued with that. It's good. It's really good. So, anyway, sorry. How about you, Matt?
So, there was two kind of things I was debating with as far as my best gaming moment of the year. And realistically, neither one of them are really like gaming moments. The one that I did not go with was taking a break from Destiny. Like I haven't played Destiny in probably 2 months at this point.
Yeah.
Which I call that like an accomplishment or a best moment because it's really nice to not have like FOMO and things like that when playing and everything. But the one that I really think is probably my best gaming moment, the thing that I took the most joy in, like realistically, even on kind of a personal level, the thing that I had the most fun with in the past year is getting to go to Seattle in like that, couple month window when the COVID was kind of in a lull before we got other
when
variants.
We thought
and
the
things
vaccine
like
would work.
Well, it does work.
It does work. Sorry. That's like an intensely like stupid thing to say because that's not what I mean. Yeah.
Well,
the vaccine works. The booster works. It makes COVID less severe if you catch it. You should always get vaccinated and booster 6 months later if you can.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Sorry, we don't want to get Yeah, go ahead.
Well, side note, I'm going to get all of the vaccines. Right now, I have Moderna and Pfizer flowing through my veins, and I really just need to get the rest of them. So that's my goal. Like Pokemon, got to get all the vaccines.
Got to catch them all.
But anyway,
Wait, no, not catch them all.
vaccinate them all.
Yes.
But going to PAX was ridiculously fun for me. And I know it's not like specifically a gaming thing. It's like convention is like gaming adjacent. But for me, that was a ton of fun just to go to the convention, things like that. Largest convention ever been to before. Got to cosplay at it, and then got to hang out with Crack, which was stinking awesome. And I know we've talked about that on the show before when we talked about like our, internet friends real, and the answer is yes, by the way.
That was sort of a bad title. I shouldn't use that title.
And I love that title. I love like the kind of like clickbaity titles, but that's just me. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed going to PAX and that whole experience. Well, after I left Houston, I flew out of Houston, and apparently I've determined that place is just like the worst place in the world to fly out of. So after I left Houston, that experience was just wonderful. I absolutely loved every minute of the whole flying to Seattle, going to PAX, just hanging out at random places in Seattle, like the one coffee bar that was open or whatever, and things like that. I absolutely loved that whole trip. Yeah, that was by far my best like gaming moment in 2021. So I don't know what I'll have to do this year to top that, but that was spectacular. So I guess that leaves Clint. What is he's got his thinking face on now.
Yeah. Well, now I'm thinking about, PAX and how much fun that was, and how like right when we were about to leave Seattle, like on the last day, and then Washington Matt, my friend from Washington, also named Matt, who said, let's go get something to eat. And then we spent the next 2 hours driving around Seattle trying to find some place to eat. It was like 9:30 at night. Found this this pizza place that was like a hole in the wall next to this dive like rave bar, and there was these like hardcore looking people waiting in line next, in front of the bouncer, and we're like just creeping behind them to go get some pizza. It was a good experience.
It was good pizza though.
It was really good pizza. Very greasy, but it was like that kind that you just want another bite.
Nice.
Oh man.
I wish I could have gone, but kids.
We'll have to do it once Theta variant is taken care of.
Well, I'm thinking that if Matt builds a zip line on his huge amounts of property, that maybe I'll go over there for like a couple of weeks in the summer with my kids and let them zip back and forth. Boom.
Y'all are always welcome, and you're definitely not the first person to ask me that.
Wait, so you have a zip line, or are you going to build one?
No. Everyone wants me like to build like a lookout tower and stuff like that, and yeah.
Dude.
But anyways,
put a pool at
Clint,
the bottom.
We're not going to let you stall anymore. You have to decide.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking to me. Best gaming moment. That's really hard for me to answer because I started streaming this year. And that has been very fun. I'll sum it up by saying all those things that I was talking about at the beginning of the episode, Emiliano, like all of my creative like stuff that I've been working on, like I've been doing those in like bits and pieces, but I really never had a reason to. So it was like very slow, very like anemic in terms of I'm not really motivated to do something unless I have a reason to do it. Like I have a goal. So having stream be the reason was really cool, and I was able to I don't know, I have trouble with motivation. It's really hard to like work for me to go to work, kill it at work, because that's kind of, what I expect of myself at work. And then come home, be burnt out and tired, and like I'm tired of like talking to people who were refusing to do the smart thing and I have to convince them all the time. Anyway, not talking about work. It's not a tangent we're going on. That I get home and I'd just be like a burnt out husk and be like, I want to do stuff. I want to make stuff. Destiny was cool because that's when I started editing videos. Like that was fun to like just record stuff and then make a montage. Like that's probably, where it all started. But I played a lot of games on stream. And some of them were like memorable experiences. Like I played Rakuen, which is a story about, it's like a meta, I don't want to say meta story. That's such a bad, it's a 4-letter word now.
Well, Meta is also copyrighted, isn't it, or something now by Facebook? Or no, not, or Mark Zuckerberg?
Moving on, sorry. I don't want to talk about them. It's an analog. It's an analog for Rakuen is an analog for the earthquake when the Fukushima radio or nuclear plant was ruptured and the tsunami hit that caused that, and it kind of showed some of the personal stories behind it, but then it took it into like a fantastical, mystical, like fantasy direction or spiritual direction. And I won't talk about the story because it's kind of a huge spoiler. But that is the kind of story that made me tear up on stream, and it was like, oh, my voice is breaking up, and it was like, this is so hard to play.
Oh man, I want to go watch that stream now. Shoot.
You should. I mean, it's on YouTube. I edited it.
Oh, speaking of YouTube, let me say that Clint, your clips, your video images, mwah, I love them. I love seeing.
Oh, the thumbnails.
The thumbnails. Thank you. I couldn't remember. All the thumbnails you create are fantastic. You've seen the picture of your little face there reacting to something. Oh, dude.
You know what I do? That's like, I'm so burnt out after editing the video, like spending out, because it takes about as much time as well, never mind. I don't need to talk about that. But I just scrub through the video at the end and I look for my face making funny faces. And I was like, okay, what did I title it? Okay, that works. And I'll just take a screenshot and then I'll edit it a little bit and then put stuff in there.
For your merch drop, the first merch drop should be just a shirt with like a 3x3 grid, not 9 spaces of different of your face, just in different poses or whatever from your thumbnails. I would buy that shirt.
Oh my gosh, dude. Well, thanks for the idea. I'll have to consider.
Maybe do a special where you have grids on the front and on the back. Whoa. And on the sleeves. Oh my God. That would be amazing. Anyway, I would buy that.
I'll do it where I'm trying to hide it. So I'll have like art and stuff, but there'll be like reaction faces in there. then your kids can like point one out you didn't see before.
Yes. Please.
That's funny.
But I'm sorry. So are you saying streaming is your gaming moment of
yeah,
or streaming more, I guess?
Or streaming. Yeah, streaming was my gaming moment. And there was a lot of fun in the streams. Like I think there was a couple times when No Face or Matt, you used streaming points to make me do like, because I had redeemable rewards. The longer you watch, you get stream points, and you can redeem them for rewards. And some of the rewards are do 5 push-ups and do 10 crunches. And I did so many push-ups one stream that I pretty much did it to failure. Like I could not do it anymore. I think it was like 75 push-ups or something that one day, which for me is a lot because I haven't worked out in a while. But
I really enjoyed that stream.
It hasn't happened again. Maybe I need to lower the prices. I don't know.
Well, it's because you. I don't know if I'm the only jerk that makes you do like push-ups repeatedly, but you definitely you kind of stream like at times when I'm not able to, because every time I get the notification that like you're streaming, I'm like, oh, let me get over there and make him do push-ups. I mean, enjoy his stream. And unfortunately, a lot of times, like, oh, I've been at work or whatever, and by the time I'm able to actually to get to the stream, you know, you're either wrapping up or whatever. I'm like, oh, but I really, really enjoy your streams, and
Well, thank you.
me and Rachel will watch them sometimes, and Rachel's always like, oh man, like Crack is so calming, and like his streams are so nice, and like I agree, like I love your streams.
I really appreciate that, because feedback is like one of the hardest things about streaming, because I don't know if I'm doing a bad job at like hooking into the algorithm or something, but I just can't get people to talk. Some streams it's like, oh, I got rated by somebody and I have 15 people in here, which is more than I've ever talked to in a room before. That's probably not true, but that's definitely not true. I've definitely talked to more people in a room than that, but it's still like I don't talk to 15 people at one time usually. So it's nice to hear what people think of my stream. So thank you.
Cool.
I'm just there for the push-ups. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Representing the push-up crowd.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of our moments of 2021. Is there anything gaming-wise, at least, that y'all are looking forward to in this coming year? Are there any big game releases or what are those things called? Game achievements that you're looking to get done in the coming year?
I have a new candidate.
I'm going to throw this right back at Clint.
I'm going on a tangent immediately. I have another candidate for gamer moments from last year, because I went back and finally 100%ed Breath of the Wild. I got all the Korok seeds.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And that was an ordeal. It took me like 3 weeks, but I love that game so much. It was nice to just, I hadn't played for like a year and a half, so it was nice to get back in and just play and wander around. I was using a guide, of course, because
yeah, no,
you gotta. But I took screenshots and clips of every Korok seed that I picked up. So I'm gonna make a video of collecting all 900 or whatever it is. But that was like an accomplishment, and when he gives you the golden crap
poo.
emoji, yeah,
The
the
golden
golden poo emoji, it was like, oh man, now I have that. Now I can understand just how bad of a reward that is. But things I'm looking forward to in 2022. There's a couple. Dying Light 2. It's gonna be fun. I'll probably enjoy it because I haven't really hyped myself up for it. And I feel like that's the recipe for success nowadays, is just don't watch the first trailer to know that it's coming, and then don't look at anything else. Just don't let anyone promise anything about the game to you. And then if it's bad, it's like, oh, well, dang my money. And if it's good, it's like, holy crap, I got that was so good. Then Steam Deck is coming out, which is like a Nintendo Switch, but it's a PC. And so you're going to be able to play PC games in your Steam library in a Switch handheld format.
Did you order that?
I pre-ordered it, yeah.
Okay.
I was late. I wasn't sure I wanted it because I have a gaming laptop that I can play, at decent frame rates. Like it's from like 2016, but it works.
Wait,
just
are
fine.
you sure? I thought you just gave me a 2016 laptop.
Yeah, what I replaced that with was like a Razer that I bought on eBay. Yeah. And it was a little better than it at the time, but it works perfectly. So I don't really have any need to buy the Steam Deck, but if I get it, I'll play it. Like it's going to be good. I think I'm getting excited for what hardware and Valve could do with that kind of form factor. Like being able to play any PC game, because if you don't play PC games, you can play anything on PC. Like you're not limited to some generation. You don't have to like buy the new hardware to play Xbox Series X. you can play with your existing computer, and it can last for a decade. Like you buy a computer now, it could last for a decade. Now, you're not going to be able to play newer games in 6 or 7 years at the same fidelity.
But let me insert
An asterisk.
the cloud gaming and the NVIDIA cloud stuff. I think that looks good and is streaming. And
that's a whole other topic that I'm not going to go into because we could talk about that for another episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, so being able to play PC games, there's a bunch of indie titles that, like Spiritfarer is a game I'm playing right now that's not very demanding. But it'd be nice to be able to play that. It's not on Switch, so you could go play that anywhere. Well, it might be on Switch. But anyway, a game that you can play old games from like 2001. You could play Morrowind on PC on the Steam Deck. Like, you can play anything. Anything that's compatible, which is most games. But that's going to be cool. And I hope that it goes well. I hope that it sells well. And I hope that I can get one. So there's probably more.
Yeah, I was not expecting a hardware related answer there, but I like that. I hadn't even thought about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The thing I'm looking forward to next year, I don't know if you guys know, but February is my birthday. And February,
Me too.
The release dates in February are crazy. Like Witch Queen, Elden Ring, Horizon Zero Dawn. Crap. There's like 2 or 3 other ones that I can't think of right now. But the February release of games that I'm interested in, I'm excited for that.
Just take off the whole month.
I'm thinking about it, because Horizon Zero Dawn releases, I think, right before Witch Queen. Although I need to get a PS5 now, but it is my birthday, so we'll see. But yeah, February I'm looking forward to because of and I think some games have moved out of the February release window because it's so crowded with like games that look really good. So
yeah.
Yep.
Dying Light as well.
Oh my gosh, it is? Oh, yeah. February.
I will be playing that 100%.
But not
my birthday's in February as well.
Oh wait, what date's your birthday?
Should I say it on podcast?
What the day?
So,
I'm not saying the year. Just
I don't care about the year. I care about the day because I don't want people wishing me happy birthday.
I just want y'all to be aware
you don't want
that
people wishing
my
happy
birthday is also in February.
Wait, what? We are February gang? How did this happen?
We didn't know this? Nobody asked.
All right, everyone say their day at the same time.
What?
All right, 3, 2, 1. 16.
28. No Face didn't speak.
I totally did.
Liar.
You muted yourself.
You just didn't hear me.
I am not waiting until I edit this episode to find out what the day is.
So, fun fact, Ronan has the exact same birthday as my brother.
Oh, I thought I say you. Darn it.
No, my birthday is on the 27th.
Oh!
Hey!
Woo!
And Ronan, what was yours again?
28.
28. Okay. 27th, 28th. Dang.
Yep.
Wow. And your brother got a birthday right after you? So you basically shared that. You're basically twins. Birthday twins. But that was fun.
Yeah, the only thing is that, and I never let my parents live this down, is that they would forget which one of us was born on which day. And so
it's like Fred and George and Harry
I remember
Potter.
Yeah, well, I would argue with my dad. He's like, yeah, it's your brother's birthday. I'm like, no, it's my birthday. Like, no, your birthday's tomorrow. I'm like, no, Dad, my birthday is today. He's like, stop messing with me. Your birthday is tomorrow. And I was like, oh, whatever. And so I've never let him live that down.
That's hilarious.
That's great. But yeah,
We'll have to
February.
have birthday episode.
We could. Like, I will say, like, with coworkers, every year we go to Red Robin because they give you a free meal. So, like, for the past, I don't know, 10 years, me and coworkers, there's like 4 of us. We'll go to Red Robin on our birthday. Well, in February and get our free meal for the month. I usually take the day off, if not the week off, to just stay home and play video games. So, yeah.
Yeah, I do the same. At least a day. Hopefully
We
on a
could-
weekend.
We could take each other's days off and spend the day streaming Dying
So
Light or
3
something.
days of 3 days of streaming.
3 days of streaming.
Hey, why not? I'm down.
Well, we'll talk about it and see. But
Yeah, we can get off the topic. No faces blushing over here.
yeah. Okay. So how about you, Matt? I said February because of just the plethora of amazing games that are going to be releasing that month. What's your?
Yeah, and well, that's a really really good answer because, in all honesty, I don't have anything I'm necessarily looking forward to in 2022, and that's been a conscious decision of sorts. Because there were things in like 2021 that I was looking forward to, and I was like, oh, this is, and I try really hard not to hype about games, but like for instance, Halo Infinite, I was like, okay, I'm not expecting this to be like the greatest Halo in the history of Halos or anything like that, but I was like, I'm excited for this to play Halo, and then it was disappointing in some aspects. Some of it is spectacular. There's some disappointing
You talking about
aspects.
the multiplayer or the campaign?
Both.
Oh,
Yeah, both really.
okay.
And so there were some games that definitely soured me towards like big releases and things like that, and hype in general even more than I already am. So I've consciously, like, I have not, because you can look like at game release schedules and things like that. I have really tried hard not to pay attention to when things are releasing. And inevitably, because of like the friends that I have and the spaces that I communicate in, I'm going to find out, like, people are like, because for instance, I didn't know Elden Ring was a thing until like December.
Oh, wow.
And people are like, oh, Elden Ring. And I'm like, what is this? And I had to like look up what Elden Ring was. And so I am looking forward to being surprised by games. Like, I'm going to do my best not to really research into games and things like that when they're coming out, what they're going into, things like that, and have experiences like I did with Valheim last year, where Valheim kind of came out and I was like, hey, what is this? It seems to be popular. And then I picked it up and absolutely loved it. That's kind of more the experiences. That's what I'm looking forward to this year, is finding games, not anticipating them, but finding them and then enjoying them. So that's kind of where I'm going, what I'm looking forward to this year.
Cool.
So kind of a non-standard answer.
Yeah, I just like, but then I don't know. Like, I guess for me, I don't have the time necessarily to go out just trying all kinds of games. So, there's people that I like listening to see, okay, should I get this game or should I not? So, like,
Yeah.
my stuff is tempered through that time and the general consensus and stuff. But I wouldn't mind playing Valheim. I hear that's great with friends.
I slept on that, but I heard this year that it is like one of the best,
Yeah,
like Minecraft experience style.
because it was on
Games.
Skillup's Games of the Year, and he was raving about it, saying that it is amazing with friends and stuff. So
Yeah, and it's incredible, like, how indie of a studio it was. Like 5 guys developed this game, and it was really really good because they just understood what was important in a survival game and things like that. So I thought, yeah, it's a very well done game, and if y'all want to pick it up, I'm not saying that I have server space I could run it on, but I definitely already have a server running. Just throwing it out there.
I will think about that. That
Cool.
legit, like, if I want to jump into that. The problem is it's early access, and
I
I'm
didn't
kind of burnt
realize.
out. It is,
Okay.
yeah. I'm burnt out on early access, but some early access is like, oh, it's so stable that like you're
Yeah.
only going to see big updates like Terraria or something. Oh, that's another big gaming moment for me, is that I played Terraria with my wife again, and her friend, and it's been really fun because Terraria is amazing. Journey's End came out this year, or maybe it was that 2020. I don't remember. Anyway, Journey's End.
I will accept the answer.
Yeah, and it's we're still playing it. Like, we haven't hit hard mode yet.
That's cool.
But
That's cool.
It's been really fun. They're finally using Discord, so it's like, yes, you're in my world now.
Awesome. Well, that's kind of, we've covered a lot of ground here in this episode, whether it was intentional or not. We have gone a lot of places here. So I don't know. I enjoyed this. Hopefully everybody listening, y'all enjoyed this as well. And so if y'all have, those of you listening, whether it be on YouTube or Stitcher or whatever podcast service you have,
Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts.
Let us, all the things. Let us know, like, what were your big gaming moments of 2021? What are you looking forward to? Are you hyped about Elden Ring and apparently the massive February release month that it's going to be? Or what's going on? Did y'all go to PAX or anything like that? Let us know in the comments of whatever you're listening on or watching on. You can also Twitter us at W Sometimes Show. And if you want to catch our streams, it is Winning Sometimes Show on Twitch, or just email us at show at winningsometimes.com, which is our website. So from all of us, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully this is the beginning of a new and much more wonderfuler year than last year. Hoping the best for everyone, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Happy New Year. Have a good 2022.